Hello, welcome to Upkeep in a Jeep. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the coolant system. I'm still chasing that overheating issue, not actually overheating, but temperature climbing issue as I get on the highway. I'm going to be doing the tensioner and pulley and the idler pulley. This isn't really part of the coolant system, but it does keep tension on the pulley, which does rotate the fan and also the water pump. So should be pretty easy. I do see a lot of nightmares online with stripping out this bolt here, it corroding and getting stuck on the back, so hopefully I don't have any of those issues. So here are the parts you're going to need: the Mopar tensioner, the Mopar idler pulley. I got Mopar because it wasn't that much more and it came with all the bolts, and I heard that like one of the spacers doesn't work on the aftermarkets. But actually I see this part, Litton's, is actually from AutoZone too, but it came with the Chrysler logo here, so maybe this assembly in here is better. You're going to need 9/16 socket, a T40, some anti-C's, a wrench. I have two different torque wrenches because this is going to be, this one's going to be 35 foot-pounds and this is going to be 250 inch-pounds, so I needed both of them. One more thing you'll be needing is a breaker bar 1/2-inch drive, because you have to loosen the tension on the belt. So let's do that first and take the belt off. There's actually a spot where the belt has a wider area to work with, so it's not actually symmetrical. I think they do that on purpose so that you can work on the pulleys or whatever else. So make sure your fan belt is aligned right there. Rotate it this way. Pop that belt right off. I got the torque specs off the factory service manual, but it is a little confusing sometimes because it has the 2.4 and the 4.0 liter engines in the same area, and it actually doesn't say 4.0 in that section. I'll leave some snippets in the video so you can check it out. Next part, you have to be very careful here. I think it's a bad design to have a torque bit on something like this. There we go. Pull that bolt out. Well, luckily mine came out right away. There's a little corrosion, so I'm gonna clean that up down there and we're gonna install the new one. So as a comparison, a little bit of noise. So part of the reason I wanted to do the tensioner is because it's really shiny here and it's kind of worn down. This belt is not that old. Months, like maybe 6 months. So I do have a new belt that I'm going to be putting on also, and I'm thinking it was worn down like that because the tension wasn't as much as it should be, so it kind of since it was loose, it wore it away. Although if you look at this, there's markings, and that's the minimum tension and that's the max. You want to stay in between here with this marker. Once it's installed, you'll see. And it was on the max, so I don't know, I'm a little confused, but new parts are always good, especially when you have 100,000 miles. Alright, time for the tensioner. Just weasel this in here. Alright, and you got to get those nubs, whatever they're called, into those holes, and then start screwing this down. I'm going to do it hand tight off camera. About 250 inch-pounds. Careful on this one. Now it's time to take this off. 9/16. Maybe kind of tight. Oh yeah, that's tight. Now this one is 35 foot-pounds when you put it back on. Old one and the new one. Perfectly solid. Now again, I got the Mopar because it comes with everything. And I've heard that pieces don't fit for the cheap ones. You're better off getting this. It's only like 10 bucks more. I don't know, like 30 bucks. I'll put the link in the description. So 35 foot-pounds. Let's put it back on. So put a little bit of anti-seize on there, not a lot, because it does kind of mess up the torque specs because it lubricates it. It's in there hand tight, and 35 torque spec. Nice and easy. There's the pop. And just make sure that they are the same length. So I have the AC, so same length. Alright, the whole thing is routed. I will leave a picture of the diagram. You should have it on your radiator. I don't actually, because I have a aftermarket radiator. But the best way to do it is to put it on the grooved ones first and then slip it underneath that idler pulley. Just like that, pull that off. So one of the things you should do is check to see if it's in between those lines, and it's closer to the two lines, so that is maximum tension. So that's, I think, a good thing. And then go through all your pulleys and make sure all of the V-ribs are on the pulleys. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you out. And we're done with another episode of Upkeep in a Jeep. This is a 2006 LJ, the long version. The reason I did do this video is because I didn't see a lot of these tensioner and idler pulley videos online for the 4.0, especially ones that had torque specs and more detailed information. I hope this helps. I'm glad that I didn't run into any of those other issues that some of the other guys have. Please like, subscribe, comment, and if you think those torque specs are wrong, the 250 inch-pounds and the 35 foot-pounds for the idler, please let me know, because I will re-torque them, but that's all I can find. Thanks for watching. So, quick update after the idler pulley and tensioner were installed. I'm still getting 225. I've only been on the highway a little bit, so that wasn't the problem. Alright, next up is probably fan clutch and water pump. Oh, gotta get off the highway. Aha! By the way, one last thing, anytime I take off a part that isn't quite destroyed, I always keep them, and if I go on a trail ride or something like that, I have a bin of parts that I can put on in case of an emergency, like hoses, some of these parts like the pulley and things like that. Definitely keep a belt on hand in the back of your Jeep, so just a little tip. Thanks.